What do you get when you cross the Nintendo 3DS with the Fatal Frame, also known as Project Zero in Europe and Zero in Japan series? You get Spirit Camera, the Cursed Memoir. This game is the second spin-off of the Fatal Frame series following the Japan-only Real Zero Another Edition, which was released on mobile phones over there. Both of these titles are unique in the fact that they both utilise the camera of the devices that they were on, with Real Zero using the mobile phone camera, and Spirit Camera using the camera of the Nintendo 3DS. The game was originally going to be a port of a Fatal Frame game for the 3DS, but the then president of Nintendo at the time, Satoru Iwata, wanted something original, and that ultimately became the game that we ended up with today. This was a title I've been meaning to cover for quite some time, and I wasn't too sure how I'd go about it. And special thanks to my friend Workaholic Wook for being the distraction during recording. I'll chuck a link to his Twitch in the video description if you guys want to check him out. The European and North American versions have slight differences. The North American version only has English voices, and in that version a couple of characters' names were changed for some reason. The European version has both Japanese and English voices, and the names are the same as the original Japanese release. In Spirit Camera, you are the main character, who just so happens to come into possession of not just the Camera Obscura, the camera used to defeat ghosts in the Fatal Frame series, but also a purple diary that has been sent to you by an unknown sender. Upon receiving the book, the Camera Obscura, or well, your 3DS reacts to it, and after taking a couple of photos, you're prompted to check out the book. After turning to the right page, words appear on it and you're transported into an old house. As you move through the house, you notice a girl move down a hallway who disappears when you turn the corner. As you go down that hallway, a door suddenly opens, and before you can open it further, you're warned not to by the girl who appears behind you. Good thing you didn't, because if you had opened that door any further, you would have lost your face. And as you leave the house and reappear in the real world, the girl appears with you. The girl introduces herself as Maya and explains that she's been trapped in the house with an entity known as the Woman in Black, who removes the faces of people who come across the purple diary. Thus, your adventures begin to solve the mystery around the diary and the victims it has claimed. But, is the game any good? Find out in The Good. For its time, the concept of the game was really ambitious. The 3DS's camera interacted with the purple diary that comes with the game, and as you go through the game, you're required to use the 3DS's camera on certain pages so the augmented reality, or AR features would work. AR features involved having pictures appear and change on the pages of the book when viewed through the 3DS's camera, and you could even play a game with one of the victims using the pages from the book in AR. The game's battle system is much the same as other games in the Fatal Frame series, where you use the Camera Obscura to take photos of ghosts in order to defeat them. Except this time, the ghosts appear in the room that you're playing in, and you need to look around in order to locate them and fight them. Outside of battles, you also get given additional lenses for the Camera Obscura in order to solve puzzles throughout the game as Maya introduces them to you. Once you complete the game's story, you unlock a harder difficulty as well as a new costume for Maya. I liked the idea the game presented and the use of the 3DS to achieve it. I also like some of the game's additional features. Outside of story mode, you have features where you could replay the game's battles and pose some of the characters, play mini-games, take photos with the 3DS's camera to create haunted photos, or see what ghosts are haunting people, and my personal favourite, you can take a photo of a face in order to create a ghost to fight. The ghost is created with random stats, and I spent a fair bit of time dabbling with it by taking photos of different faces to fight. However, that's about it for what I liked with the game, so let's talk about what I didn't like with the bad. While I really liked the concept of the game, the AR features can be quite finicky to get just right, and you really need to be in a well-lit area to make the most of it, which does hamper the scare factor of a horror game. There were a few moments in the game where the AR struggled, which broke the immersion. One of them is early in the game where you're supposed to put your hand onto one of the book pages while the 3DS's camera is on it, and if you cover too much of it, the AR stops working briefly. Once you do get it working, you fight a ghost hand, and as you fight, you may find yourself having to turn the book so you can focus on the hand, which can also break the AR feature. It's a shame because the intention and ideas are good, but when it doesn't work, it can be frustrating. While the AR features are meant to be the standout part of the game, it also compromises the game's story. The game's story only took me around 3 to 4 hours to beat and is split up into chapters. But the chapters I found were very short and you could get through them rather quickly. I also feel that even with the AR features, you could have had the ability to explore the old house further. The section at the start of the game where you walk down the hallways of the old house while using the 3DS console to look around was a really neat idea, and it was a shame that this is the only part of the game where you could do that, as the remainder of the game happens in your surroundings. The AR book is small, which contributes to the length of the game, and there could have been more done with the game to expand the story. That's about it for what I didn't like, so let's wrap things up with the opinion. Spirit Camera was not by all means a bad game, but it is a game that could have had much more potential. The ideas were good, but offset by a short length and limitations of AR. Don't get me wrong though, I did have fun with the game and I did enjoy fighting ghosts with faces of things I'd taken photos of. It's a curiosity for the Nintendo 3DS, and I think if you want to dabble in it or if you enjoyed the Fatal Frame games, it might be worth taking a look at. If you have the game and no AR book, no problem. You can actually get and print the AR booklet from Nintendo's website so you can get right into it. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir, a disposable camera out of 10. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to like, comment and subscribe for more. You can check out our other videos or follow us on X, Instagram and Facebook. Once again, thank you for watching.